I'm so sick of them doing this to my channel and then cutting it back when you get paid. It's really ignorant, man. And then it tells you your connection's unstable. My connection, yeah, my connection isn't unstable, but they're cutting stuff off. Look at the fire in Canada where I. So God is burning the earth. Great tribulation is here. Just like this speaker that comes on. I wish they would quit just kicking. They kick people out on my channel, man. It's ridiculous, man.
May.
Okay.
Coming.
You wait till
we've got a 1 hour program today. That because we have some issues with it. I apologize to you, the audience of that, but 1 hour Steve audio, HagmanReport.com for print, HagmanStore.com for coffee. Let me start off by saying this. I was forwarded an email which you this is from Redacted. Hello, brother Steve. I was at work today. Someone informed me that you were banned by DOD, that's Department of Defense.
Okay, quit cutting off my touch my other show. And now they're farting with this one. I pay for this. I'm going to my bank if I keep seeing this crap and I'm removing my payment.
Now, SIPRNet, SIPRNET, has a red border for classified information systems identification. The DoD has a policy to allow civil service to view news sites during breaks. Okay, then this individual says, that indicates that you popularized a news story within the last 48 hours. I believe it was either the Dutch ascents video or the Hal Turner Chinese troops in Canada. I was at the Pentagon in late August and September for 3 weeks. Massive amount of junior officers playing on their phone. Steve Quayle, welcome. Thanks for enduring, by the way, the technical issues.
Well, thank you, Doug. And ladies and gentlemen, can I have Eric put that up so people see that, Doug, on the screen? Is he capable of doing that? The conference coming up next week, by the way, next Friday and Saturday, 16th and 17th, is called Final Warning, Brace for Impact. People who are monitoring my site in a good way, people who are friends, information sources.
Okay, I wanted to stop this too because something else is bothering me. When I go tell a Christian that supposedly don't celebrate Halloween, that's the one thing that's the worst of them all is Halloween. And yet they put on these costumes and makeup and stuff, and I tell them the truth, and they say, well, don't always watch me and tell me what to do and this and that. And there's no fence. You can't listen to AC/DC, Antichrist, Devil's Child, and think you're of God. You can't be putting on dead makeup and think you're of God. There's no fence. There's no fence, okay? You're either on the side of God or on the side of the devil. That's it. The devil owns the fence, man. So if you're listening to Antichrist, Devil's Child, you may want to start. And I'm just like sick of it because it's one too. And they just sit there and they go, yap, 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 yap. Don't be doing this. Don't be doing that. And yet they're also putting on their AC/DC. And yet they're putting on AC/DC, Antichrist, Devil's Child. You don't listen to that music if you're of God. Okay, so anyways, quit doing that to my channel, please. So them who don't love a truth, love a lie. Them who don't love the truth, love a lie. Them who stand on the fence, you're going to get burnt. It's either time to give yourself to God and put all your faith. Keep listening to AC/DC. It's evil music. You're supposed to listen to gospel music only. You're not supposed to watch evil movies, evil shows, and Halloween, they're celebrating the Day of the Dead. Well, I'm not dead. And even when my body's dead, I'm alive in Christ. So, yeah, I know a guy. Need to eat. Connection is unstable. It's not. I have one of the best connections you can get in Alberta, and it just does that so it can cut me out. Then it'll chop up my video later and put it back on tomorrow. If it keeps doing that, just come back in. But I'm trying to just help people, and yet they're prosecuting me. ACDC means Antichrist, Devil's Child. Don't, I would suggest don't listen to that. Halloween, putting on dead faces makeup, great Halloween. See, now watch, more people are going to get cut out here for speaking the truth of Halloween. Come on, man. That's what Halloween is. It's celebrating the dead. There, they did it again, man. Oh, even I'm talking about Halloween and heavy metal music and rock and roll music. It's not of God, okay? Not Supertramp, not Queen, okay? Queen is not a good band to listen to. It's a bad to listen to. He's dead now. Freddie Mercury, okay? Now we're gonna listen to the show because it's really good. You're gonna see my channel going in and out constantly right now. There's gonna be no such thing as rapture after 2000 when 2021 hits. People are not. Yeah, I know that's how they do it. See, they're doing it again, man. And they don't think that we know that they do what they do when we pay for it. In the name of Jesus. Jesus, come down and let them not play with this channel. This is important information, okay?
Intercessors are all saying the same thing that Dana Coverstone got originally. As Pastor Coverstone, yes. Or just me.
Okay, so he said heavens. Let's start them. So, anyways, quit doing that. I'm out to speak to the people that are playing around on the fence right now. In the end times, how could you literally play around on the fence? You have to give yourself fully to Jesus before he comes back, because a half-wit doesn't make it. There's no fence. The fence is going to burn as well. It's made out of wood. He's going to burn everything, okay? And the war of this, of what God's going to do to the earth. And we're going to get hit with it soon. It's going to come fulfilled here pretty soon. My dreams of 100 fireball dreams I've had, where the whole earth was red and on fire, and I saw fireballs coming from the sky. Many dreams of that. That's a dream that I dreamt the most. And God to be sitting here playing around with Christ and putting on Halloween makeup. It's not the time for that. And listening to AC/DC, Antichrist, Devil's Child, and all these other Queen and any rock music, you should be listening to gospel music, and that's it. There's no time to play around on the fence. If God comes back and you're playing on you get burnt. Okay, that's what I'm trying to explain to my sister. And they don't like the truth, and they get all offended. And at the end, they say, well, hugs and everything. Well, you know what? You offend her. I shouldn't have writ that on. I should have called her and told her personally. They take it so serious. They think you're messing around in their life and that's all you want to do, but you actually love them and you're warning them of the things that they're doing. You're warning them of hell, judge, and fireman. Okay, so I'm giving people what happens when God starts gives you the ultimate warning. You're not going to be able to give God trouble for it. Come on, man. Look at it. We're in end time. Quit playing on the film. Quit drinking alcohol. Give yourself fully to Jesus. Your time's running out, man. Now it's doing it again, Junior. I'm really getting sick of it. And you don't think I know what you're doing. Think again. She shut down. Anybody shutting down the truth? You'll get repaid for it. Okay? I send you a messenger and you have closed ears. Okay? On the side of God so that they go to heaven. I tell them these things because I love them. Okay? So I don't tell things because I want to be mean to you. But when he has to, he will. Yeah. Okay. So listen. Let's listen.
Echoing. Again, never. And before the Lord, those of you who will be on with us tomorrow night, God willing, especially with the may go at least
gets me upset, irate. Quit cutting it off.
The reason that I sent, ladies and gentlemen, this to Doug, and he was so gracious to read it, is because people all over the planet, they're uniquely placed in different positions of authority, different, I'll say this, deep underground military bases. They're all over the planet happen. Whether the election happens or not, let me share this.
Quit cutting out by people.
I'm a big picture guy.
Watching, not many people watch my channel anyways.
Jesus Christ, second coming. The arguments on theology, the arguments on the pre-trib, post-trib, pre-rapture, those are all going to be pretty much put to bed, in my opinion, in the year 2021. The horrors that are coming on now, I'm not talking.
Okay, so you heard them. Rapture's baloney junk is going to be put to rest. And they're going to be screaming out, "Watcher!" And all these preachers that are teaching it will lose their flock. Okay, and the Bible talks about that. The pillows that hunt the souls to teach how to fly will lose their flock, and that's straight in the Bible, man. That's against. Okay, it's against. The Bible speaks against it in many chapters. And they come up with these two chapters that says in a twinkling of an eye, and something has to catch it. If you're throwing the ball to somebody, they're catching it, right? So the same thing, God's throwing the ball to the harvest angels to catch us. We're the ball. He's throwing us to them, and they're coming down to catch us. Okay, so enough of rapture. It's so easy to say rapture is false. If it doesn't say rapture, don't take a scripture and say that scripture says. They think they can play heavy metal, smoke dope, sex, and that they're going to heaven because they go to church once in a while. And they don't even go to church. They believe in God and Jesus, but you don't believe in God and Jesus if you're listening to Satanistic music, isn't it, right?
Yes, okay. I have to delineate between whores and horrors, Horrors. I'm talking about the Horrors, the horrors that are being facilitated, basically drawn out in fighting plans by the WHORES. So it's kind of like, in essence, it's a North American horror show, if that makes sense.
Smoking marijuana. Well, it's a dark color. Like I've changed. I have some black. I used to love black the best. Now I'm changing all my colors to different colors. Okay, there's no black on here. It's all brown, gold, and everything else. God's color colors are bright and wonderful and beautiful. Black is not a color, it's a mix of all colors. Okay? It's not a bad color, though. You're not going to go to hell for wearing black. But it is known to draw out. I heard if the person that wears a lot of black, only black, inside, I can't really totally answer that, but I try to stay away from it. But all my stuff I bought before it was black. I love black, black and red. But I'm starting to switch my colors out to other colors. Okay, so when my clothes get to buy different colors.
Doug, the bottom line is this, is that, ladies and gentlemen, it's no metaphor, it's no understatement that the more said the moral lies and evil pictures a dedication that we, and therefore, Doug, again, as I'm going to just reiterate this, I feel like it's so in my heart. I was up all night, and I can't help it. I was up all night. I was tossing and turning. I think I dozed off for 30 minutes. My watch, I have a big digital red, clock, and it said 4:44. Now, 4:44 in biblical numerics is Jesus. So I got the message that I have some things. Every mouth of every critic of ours, Doug, will be silenced in the days ahead. And the thing that's important is this, is that the scripture that God always tries to warn people about is you do always resist. I saw a heartbreaking, basic.
Yeah, my guys that I listen do that to me too. They speak of what I'm going through too, and it just blows me in mind. And that's God speaking to you, okay? Through me to you. It's not me. I'm not God. I never well claimed to be Jesus. I love his shirts. They're beautiful. They're colorful. Okay, so, and it makes a statement. And it might convict some people. They might go, oh, man. And then they see and they read on the back of the shirts, right? All the things that he does. Okay, so you don't see me wearing AC/DC shirts. Look at this. In this shirt, end of the road. End. The final tour ever. End of the road. Kiss. Okay, that's an evil shirt. And it's brand new, even worn it. And I don't even want to give it away because it's evil. Maybe I should throw it in the garbage. It's almost $100 shirt. My wife bought it $70 American. Okay, so that is an evil band. They call the falling star, the bad star, the morning star is the devil. Okay? And Space Child may be the final forever, but it's made in a Hollywood basement. Think of that. Remember, I've been teaching space isn't what we think it is. Okay, let's listen. You know what, Junior? I should throw it in the damn garbage. Don't even believe
that abortion's wrong anymore. Well, I would say this: they're not Christians. You cannot go to the 139th Psalm and read it and say those little people aren't humans. That God knew before the foundations of the world and ordained them a life. Yet mankind, under the influence of Satan, has drained them of their life, draining them of their blood. And this is a warning. This is a warning coming from multiple sources from different places in the world. Starting on the 21st of October, the Satanists are going to prepare for their grand feast. They are going to be abducting children worldwide.
They're going to be abducting children worldwide, buddy. So keep an eye out, okay? See, now they're blocking it, right? And they'll cut that out of the video probably later. Anyways, let's go on. I don't want to talk about it because they're going to keep doing that.
Watch their children, to watch them closely, because the grand sacrifice, this is point blank from someone in unimaginable levels of clearance saying the grand sacrifice
They're going to be abducting children. So stay close to where you're safe. Anyone with children, watch your children.
The whole mayhem that's coming on Washington, D.C., Washington, D.C. And, you know, one of the famous statements is, and it's a Greek statement, and I'm not quoting it for the biblical theology of it, but it was one of the Greek philosophers who stated, whom the gods destroyed, little g, meaning the generals bunkering in under the guise of quarantine. Let me just say this. That's a capital B, a capital S for Bravo Sierra. That is absolutely not true. Continuity of government has been initiated. Even today, Nancy, what I would call Pelosa, the second letter of the alphabet, is talking about using the 25th Amendment against the president. Next, the Three Gorges Dam. And the Three Gorges Dam is absolutely becoming more of a problem than most people can think. Now, everybody says, well, yeah, if it breaks, it gets blown up, it'll kill 500 million Chinese and destroy their manufacturing, at least 70% of it. But what people fail to understand is this. Even now, as Doug Hagman and I are on this show on the 8th of October, the planning is going on. Who strikes China? Does China strike simultaneously Taiwan, Japan, the United States, starting in Guam, then headed to Hawaii and Pearl, and also, ladies and gentlemen, India. Now, I want to read you a really, really important three things to talk about. The idea is that not only will the dam break, not only will the destruction of China's agribusiness be, but here's the thing people don't understand. China has already stated on record that they will consider that a go signal at their ultimate vulnerability, so they will strike prior to that. I want you to understand too, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to really grasp this. There are supercomputer models running.
Okay, so remember I said rumors of war and war? Man, these are end time prophecies. And another one came true. Jerusalem, it's a 2,000-year-old prophecy that in the end times, that Jerusalem in the deserts will grow flowers, and they're beautiful. So how does something come true 2,000 years later? And Jesus.
Taking into account the composition of the concrete, the, if you will, structural integrity of the steel. And so, and this, none of this will be made public. And Doug, this is what I want people to know. Nothing will be made public until it's too late. And so at some point, I'll turn it over to you for a minute. At some point, everything you've learned about all your guests, everything that you personally have brought out about the crime, corruption, everything, we're in this time now where there's no pulling back. There's no hopefully thinking, wishful thinking. There's denial. And the Christians who should be the most aware, who are scheduled for annihilation, you know, listen, let me say this. If they don't get that, and they can go out on the whiny boards or the weenie boards, the WW boards, whiner.
Yeah, I know the iPhone is see-through. It's made with a special battery that's coming out. This is fallen angel technology. And I wouldn't take that phone. I don't want that phone. It's cool looking. When? I'm sorry, buddy. This is really meat that you're getting right now. Okay? Don't be scared. Jesus has got you, little guy. Put your faith in Jesus. You have to build your faith. That's why reading technology that never been, okay?
And weenies, and what's happening in China doesn't preempt what's happening in India, doesn't preempt what's happening in Taiwan.
Okay, so they say vote in Trump, 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 make America great again, make America great again. They're idolizing the guy. They're planning on him defending their whole country. He's just one man. It don't matter who you vote in anymore. Tell you the truth. The Bible's going to play out because God said it. God doesn't say something and not do it. That's not God. But you got to pray over your dreams. That God take over your dreams, okay, buddy? Or you may see some dreams of some of the bad stuff that's happening. It does say the little ones will get visions as well as the older get dreams, okay? And dreams and visions for all. Okay? So don't be scared. Hold on to Jesus for your dear life because you're on one heck of a ride, little guy. Little guy. I know you said that earlier, but listen.
Japan, even now, there are wars going on between the Indian and Chinese for the shooting down fighters. Why didn't you see that in the International Herald Tribune? That's because they're all the papers of the world are owned by they who control the narrative. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll say this again. When we go, not just us, but alternative radio, talk radio, when our voices are...
Well, compared to him, you are. Jesus in my dream was like 200 feet tall, bro. So, but you're a little one. He calls you the little ones. And his hands over you. Just keep a hold of them. The stuff that I'm giving out tonight might be too powerful for you, right? So I don't know.
They're silenced. The deafening roar of the silence is going to be the greatest wake-up call to those who can be awakened, and it's going to be the nail in the coffin of those who would rather, in essence, stay dead in their knowledge of what's coming, thinking somehow they can sue for peace. Dave Hodges wrote an amazing story today, and it's true.
Okay, so I said there's no peace like Jesus. Well, pray. Just pray every night, man, and believe in that you will, okay? That's the thing. You can pray, but if you don't believe, you're not going to get it.
Put up the videos of the Chinese.
Keep working for the Lord. Keep listening. Keep reading.
The point that everyone's got to
listening to that music.
There is no politician.
That Kevin Wilson band guy. Listen to all of them. There's some that I don't really care for, but once you keep listening to them, they have to. We can't play around on the fence anymore, man. Time's running out, and people just don't understand that, and they keep doing it. They're get caught. Listen, you don't want to be caught listening. You're listening to AC/DC. Jesus ain't coming into your house. That's it. If he came on Halloween and you dressed up in a demon, he's not coming for you. No, I don't like Hillsong. They're bad. Yeah, Hillsong has a reputation. Their people are figuring out who they are. That's like listening to Kanye West. He sings about Jesus. Yes, he does. But their Jesus.
Who isn't in someone's pocket. I want to say that again. There's no politicians who aren't in someone's pocket. 1.5 million. That Chinese are up there. You're seeing them training. You're seeing there's videos on my website. I don't know, Doug, if you've run those on yours. They're in Mexico. They're throughout the United States. So, ladies and gentlemen, 750,000 man army in the U.S. with targeted, with targets already assigned to them by the communist ruling party. We don't really get the nature of the war
sometimes
that is upon us. And I told
they hide it.
That writes,
okay, so they make it.
I told
they hide it.
That writes,
okay, so they make it sound good. That's like reading a prayer out of a Bible. Which reminds me, my daughter-in-law, I got to write her up a prayer for Halloween and to pray against it, okay? So we don't do Halloween. Any makeup, come on with the excuses, man. Ridiculous.
What do you call it? different articles for me. I said, brother, I won't use any more articles that say this may result or this could result. The people writing those articles cannot make their own mind up on the evidence that's in those articles, and they should write them to begin with. Because, Doug, what we've done is show reality, not we, of course, not us, but the point is that I want to give everybody by this last, I want to make this emphasis, this last briefing that we're having tomorrow night. That's the last before the 16th and 17th. The conference starts Friday morning. It'll be in real time, even though it's been pre-recorded. And I'm going into the studio, and I'm going to cut a 2-hour special. And a 2-hour special, the reason I say this, is going to be plain to everyone. And I feel like, honestly, as much as I can hear from the Lord, now, I want everybody to understand, we've already had denial of service attacks, just like, you know, Doug, today. It's always something, but it's going to become more and more prevalent. And ladies and gentlemen, in essence, we are running the race, but we're running the race on your behalf. We have to make it over the finish line. Doug's got to deliver his heart and soul while he's got the platform. I have to do the same. We have to do the same. And any guest that Doug brings on must understand it's the latest hour. This is no longer what I would call time delay BS. This is no longer, well, I'll just see what those two are having to say. Or like the typical, you guys are all a bunch of religious fanatics, or in my case, not yours, Doug. I never want to place any of my criticism on you, fanatics, or in my case, not yours, Doug. I never want to place any of my criticism on you. That spot, things are happening. They're not getting ready to happen. The camps are opening, and tomorrow, I just do. Go ahead, Doug. I'm sorry. Take a glass of God-given water.
You know, the private briefings are so important. So I want to urge everyone, if you still have not signed up for the virtual conference, please do so. And that the video on demand that will entitle you to both the current as well as the historical private briefings. I think they're so important. But seeing challenges we haven't seen before in technology, with the technology, challenges with denial of service attacks, challenges as we are trying to get through, just get our product out there, and it's, you know, it's amazing. It's amazing to me that we have to prep this fight, and people don't recognize. Many do, but some don't recognize the viciousness of the fight in which we find ourselves. And you know, yesterday too, in addition to the vice presidential debate, which that's bread and circus, you know, that's what that is. But you had people in the streets of Wisconsin, in the Steve, in the suburbs, you know, terrorizing residents there. It's just now things are getting more and more ramped up as we get to, well, I think we used to call it, or maybe still do, the event horizon. But I think there are things that are coming that will be this event horizon. You know, so I'll leave it, or I'll put it back to you.
Well, I think that's, you know, horizon. This is what it means. An event horizon is something you can look into the horizon and start to see, if you will, the ships breaking the horizon coming on you. And I'm talking about hard ships, okay? So that's a great word. The entire controlled narrative is going to make you, Doug, me, Christians, the number one boogeymen. We're going to be labeled the purveyors of the plague. They're going to use everything they can to incorporate a collective murdering consciousness. And we'll just call that a CMC. It is almost to, it now is, it's no longer distracticus theatricus, okay? It's, let me just come up with something. There you go, I'll rhyme it. Implementation of annihilation. 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 The idea that everything's going to stay the same. Now, I maintain that God's going to do something. And I'll tell you this, not only is Dutch Sense picking up, rightfully so, kudos to him for even seeing the amount of hot spots on the New Madrid, but overnight they've doubled. Again, people are checking the flights, even the secret ones that NASA's flying over. And it's just like a piece of wood, Doug, a big piece of wood that each one fissures, if you will, some going down 600 kilometers. Quick and dirty, that's 360
Yeah,
miles.
Joel Osteen is huge being bad. He's bad, man.
Some of the U.S. Navy maps.
He's one of the new. He's one of the new world order pastors. Okay, and there's lots of them.
I'm also going to be dealing with alien disclosure. When does alien disclosure come? After all this stuff is let's say this in motion and in play in the United States. The reason being is they're going to be seen as the alien saviors. I'm going to go into such detail on that. You'll see it. I'm going to go into such detail on that. You'll see it. Some people are reading between the lines. Kind of, I guess you'd say, some veiled hints I'm trying to give. The reason I'm giving them as veiled hints, because even I'm following in one respect. Jesus said, those who have eyes to see and ears to hear will understand the parables. But unto everybody else, it's hidden from them. So, when I post something on my website, like, the Solomon puzzle or the Solomon factor, or what you just got to, I'm sorry, not Solomon, Samson played a riddle, and he wasn't. It drove the Philistines crazy, and they had to wait for, who was it that seduced Samson? Delilah. They had to wait for Delilah. I'll make it really sanitized. Get into his heart, so he would basically answer the question she had, so she could go back and talk to the rulers. And it made him furious when he understood, but he didn't back off of how should we say this? Partying with Delilah after that point. It cost him his eyes. It cost him his hair. It cost him everything. And ladies and gentlemen, some of you men out there have Delilahs in your life right now. And you're where you shouldn't be with them. You need to break it off. If you don't break it off, the same thing that happened to Samson will happen to you. Boy, Doug, this is like on the spur of the moment. Seriously, I've learned to obey. And not instantly. Your blindness will keep you from recognizing the hour. Your pleasure will keep you from recognizing God's call on your life. It will. Can you repent on your deathbed? Absolutely can. But when you repent on your deathbed, absolutely you can. Can you repent on your deathbed? Absolutely can. But when you repent on your deathbed, you in your life. Let's say you've got 2 years, and he gives you 2 years of miracles. That 2 years of miracles beats 68 years of fooling around. We're playing footsie with the devil. The devil's not playing footsie with us. People think somehow if they close their eyes and just sing a song, they're up against a wall facing touch him. There are no reset buttons in reality world, only in the virtual world. And that's why the video games I'm so opposed to, because they've taken away the what I would call empiric reality that God created us, and
video
we have to
games.
give account, and that the
He just talked about video games. I don't know. The grace stands in their way. You have to do it before he comes, because if he comes and you see him, it's too late to repent. Listen to what he's saying about video games, bro.
Is a hell. Now the video gamer is taking over hell, where it's a want-to-go place, because look at all the ladies. I'm serious. Or the other strange forms of it. This is because I read sentences of video games. I don't play a video game. I don't look at them. I just read the synopsis. Somebody who is a gamer will say, hey, you got to see this. They're dealing with fallen angels and giants and all this stuff. And, I know this. I know that somebody said, somebody once called me.
Some people don't time with right now, because we're coming on the time that he comes back. And he's going to say, if you don't spend enough time with them, and I'm spending the raw truth, even on my sister right now, I'm texting her, the raw truth. And I said, I send a messenger and him you don't listen to. Okay, you listen with closed ears and they make excuses up why they listen to this music and why they smoke drugs and why they drink closed ears and they make excuses up why they listen to this music and why they smoke. No excuse for it. You don't have an excuse. Jesus doesn't like excuses. He sees through excuses. When you're telling him an excuse, you're telling him a lie. Okay, so they tell me excuses too. Oh, I was just trying on the makeup. Or, oh, you don't tell me that. Don't have to tell me that. And they make up these excuses for their evils that they do. Do you know what? That's not humble. You have to humble yourself in the sight of the Lord. You do a sin, you have to humble yourself to the Lord and tell him, yes, I committed that sin. Nobody makes you do a sin. Nobody says as you're puffing on the joint freely by yourself, nobody's saying to you, you got to have it or I'm going to kill you. There's no amount of excuses that Jesus will take. And it talks about that in the Bible. If anybody wants to challenge me, I've read my Bible and I'm on the second go around here in just the last little while, so I'm full of it. Oh, yeah, well, it's teaching, it's blessing you right now because you're seeing your sin and you're feeling bad for it right now and you're ready to repent on your hands and knees and bawl out to God, man, because that's humble, okay, and meek. And these people just don't do that, okay? I'm a messenger trying to help people, trying to say, and I'm saying it to them. I'm not going to say it out loud anymore. That's wrong. I admit that. That's wrong. But I'm going to tell them straight up, that music is evil. You can't play on the fence and listen to heavy metal, AC/DC, Antichrist, devil's child, and think when Jesus comes back that he's going to save you because you played around. You're playing around. These people are playing around, even the cold Christians. Hey, man, I did too, but I got all. They're going to hate you, and that's what Jesus says. They hated me, they're going to hate you. And that's what's happening with my sister. Okay? Straight up. She thinks I'm doing it to be mean or be spiteful against her. No, I'm doing it because I love her. I tell the truth. Them who don't love the truth love a lie. And that, if you love a lie, who are you working for if you love lies? Come on, Junior. Who are you working for or serving if you love lies? Satan. He is the liar. He's worse than anybody on this planet right now, I can tell you that. So if you don't love the truth, you love a lie. And it gets people infuriated. But you shouldn't be infuriated. You should take it as good chastisement, and turn around and stop doing it. God sent you a messenger. See, when my sister, I didn't find her. I've had a sister for 47 years. I hadn't seen her for 40 years. Okay, God sent me to learn about. AC/DC wrote the song Highway to Hell, and he died 2 weeks later writing a song like that. I don't blame God for taking him. He gave his soul over, and so many people listen to that record, and they don't think it's bad, but I'm on a highway to hell. Yes, I do believe you're going, buddy. Okay, your sins are little. You'll have to confess them to the Lord Jesus and ask for repentance. Not like these older people that act like little kids and start coming up with excuses. It's ridiculous. You can't give an excuse to Jesus. Now try. Good luck with that. I'm making sure by the time Jesus is back, and Jesus is making sure by the time he's back, that I'm without spot or wrinkle on my coat. Okay? He's washing me in his blood. He's taking all the evil away from me. And it's been a process. It's time. But time is running out. Some of these people have come to say they believe in God when I did, but yet they're still smoking dope and listening to AC/DC. It's time to get out of the kitchen. You can't play with fire and expect not to get burnt. Who owns fire? God owns fire and Satan owns fire. You know what? I had anxiety to the maximum. I'm ADHD. I had anxiety. I had a heartburn ulcer. I had, many things. I was addicted to marijuana. I was addicted to alcohol. I was addicted to sex. They're all gone, man. That says of Jesus. I'm not going to put a pill in me that's just going to mask that anxiety. You're going to mask the anxiety. Yeah, and it's way more powerful than fire of Satan. And he's going to throw that on people, and it's not going to have love in it, though, when God throws it on people. Listen, God has to destroy them for a lack of knowledge. These people aren't learning. They're not reading the Bible. They're not doing enough for the Lord. They're not. It's be better off you be not born at all than lukewarm. Okay? To be hot for Christ means you're going around to everybody and not scared, and you say, I believe in Jesus. So I go around with this shirt on and with this hat on. And I don't care. I don't care what people, if they hate me. You know what? Who cares if the people on this earth hate you? If Jesus doesn't like you or doesn't know you, he loves the sinner. But if that sinner doesn't come to him, they will burn for eternity and ever in hell, damnation, gnashing, whipping and gnashing of teeth, getting ate over and over every day by demons like you're a corn on the cob. Every day for eternity. I can't even imagine what hell is. Hell is, you can't imagine it. But you know what? Jesus taught hell more than any apostle or anybody in the Bible. You know, when you're scared and you see a dog coming after you and your door's, Jesus, the door, scared of hell, and you're scared of all the things, you come to Jesus, and then you find out why you really come to Jesus after that, because you love him and he died for you and he's done so much for you and he's put you here on this earth and he's protected you from these evil spirits that want to kill you every day, but they can't because Jesus' hands on you, even the evil people. They're not facing the wrath of God. To face the wrath of God, oh my God, that's worse than, because he's going to throw you in hell. It's bad to be in the hands of a God when you're a sinner and he's finishing and clearing up this land. Okay, so people are leaving because of the truth. You see, I speak a lot of truth and it's harsh truth, but so that's how I do it. That's how God's given me to do it. And if people don't like it, go to the cushy stuff. Go back to the milk and find out what that does for you. The milk makes you a pitter-patter Christian, and you sit on the fence with the milk. But the meat, that's what's coming.
From Hollywood. And they just said, look, I'm in the industry. I'm not, never have.
And that's because of Jesus, you're still alive.
And they said,
Me too, buddy. I died twice and came back to life. However, I don't care. This doesn't show that you like the show, and why would you watch it then? Sorry, I'm not trying to be ignorant. This is at a time I hate abortion. Yes, and God even talks about smiting the baby in the womb. How was that? That was a prediction that they're going to smite the baby in the womb. They've only been doing that for what, 30, 40 years. So that prediction was way long ago, and it's come true. Well, they're pulling them out now, piece by piece. And they're drinking the world. The whole world lies in the hands of the wicked one. And I can see it, even with people I love. There's like 3 or 4 that are coming, but they're still on the fence. And I pray that they get off that fence before it's too late. Because if you see Jesus coming in the cloud, because every eye will see him and bow to him. Same thing. But this that's coming is like Noah's Ark on steroids. Worse. God lets Satan rule this world because he uses the evil to bring home his children, because he scares his children home. And he does the testing so that when at the end, Satan comes for his own people, as well as God comes for his people. And God can turn on Satan's people, like humans, because Satan's going to take them. You see? God told Satan, I will let you live, but you have to show my people what you're doing. It's all over the whole world, all over everything, Facebook, everything, but people aren't seeing it. They can't see what time we live in. You guys can discern the skies, but you can't discern the coming of Jesus Christ. The skies are on fire like the Bible says. I've got pictures of it. You've seen it. Now discern what's becoming behind that. There's a face of Jesus right in the middle of that. I showed it. There's faces of God showing up, faces of demons, devils showing up in the clouds, and people aren't seeing it. But I'm a watcher, so I'm seeing it. No, hell wasn't made for them, but people are going there. Hell enlarges itself. It's enlarging itself because so many people are going there, bro. Only a remnant of God. And I already know in my family and the people around me, God's already showed me in dreams of them and my friends. I already know right now who's going and who isn't going in my family. And I'm not opening my mouth because I'm in brimstone and fire if I do that, if I'm wrong. But he's given me discernment, and those people I reach out to, hoping I can save them or help save them, because I can't save them. But listen, some people weren't born of God. They were born of Cain, which is Satan's child. Satan's child. So it's meant to be. The people that go to hell weren't God's children in the first place. Okay, so we're not going to know that until Jesus comes back. Right? But he's shown me that I am. Out of all my whole entire family, even the family I found, there's a few going that I see right now. No, I love them. The people I stay in contact, I love, okay? He was a type of, but no, he was born of Satan. He's Satan's son, like Satan's son. Like God has a son, Cain had a son that started the seed that went into the apple. Okay, that's not a button, but that also looks like a seed going into Jesus's bloodline. Okay, so I can tell you right now, 3/4 of this earth isn't of the seed of God. Probably. I'm not going to. Almost the whole world lies in the hands of the wicked one. And I can see it all through because people aren't growing. They're playing too much in drugs, alcohol, swearing, lying, deceiving. All the sins that they're doing, and they're not growing. There's only like 1 or 2. And that's, I have 1 family, 2 families, 3 families. I only see a couple that are making any moves and that are taking in and doing the best they can and growing. The rest keep playing and coming up with excuses. Okay? I probably won't hear from my sister for 5 months because of it. They can't stand up to God's children when it comes face to face, because the word of the Lord will defeat. If they haven't read the word of the Lord, and it's a two-edged sword, I don't want to use it like that. Sometimes I say, well, I say this thing, and then I say that's straight out of the Bible. I'm not doing it to poke and rip at them and tear at them. I don't want to see them die, or else I wouldn't tell them these things. It's crazy. How many people are going to sit there and keep playing, keep throwing the alcohol in your mouth, keep serving Satan, keep swearing out of your mouth, keep lying, and think you're going to make it when Jesus comes back? You have to work with him. You have to help get some of these things out of you. A job doesn't come knock on your door without you applying. So you have to apply the Bible to your life, which is Jesus Christ, to actually even make it to heaven. And they think that they can sit there and play around on the fence. Devil, and I'm going to smoke marijuana that's from the devil, and I'm going to drink alcohol that's from the devil, and I'm going to keep swearing out of my stomach, out of my heart, out of my mouth, because what you say out of here comes from here. This is just such a thing, man. People don't understand. I spent hours with you guys. I spent hours in my Bible. I spent hours singing. I spent hours, and I'm not bragging. I love doing it. It turns you so that you love doing it, man. God gives you a new heart and then a new mind. You have to help him out to show. I only see that with two people in my three families. So I have my adopted family, I have my wife's family, and I have my family that I found, my real family, blood family. And I only see 2 or 3 out of them that are possibly going to make it. I'm not naming names. Oh, 4 now. I'm naming my little cousin. He's going to make it. Okay, that's the only name I'm going to say. Well, I'm a watchman on the wall, okay? A watchman. The watchers are bad. The watchers are the fallen angels. Okay, watchmen are good. Watchmen are bad. My other guy comes on in an hour. So let's listen.
You laugh sometimes saying, basically,
listen for a bit.
We're taking quail stuff and turn it into movies. That's not to flatter myself. I'm just telling you, when you're a writer of science fiction, when you're a gamer, when you're a game builder, you're always looking for the next best thing.
You watch.
Better to put
you watch more of my streams than anybody. You watch more of my streams than anybody else. Keep seeking them. Keep seeking for righteousness, man. Don't stop. You got to be hot for God. You can't be cold or warm. They say lukewarm, and it's better off being cold than lukewarm, okay? It's better off being not born than lukewarm. You have to be out teaching people. Like, these are the things that I do, okay? What did Jesus do? He came here to teach people and to love people and to heal people. He did things of love, even when he preached about hell, because God knows his children are scared of hell. Oh, something's on.
Into a new level of whatever excitement and winnings or whatever if they compete is then something that someone saw that you never saw before. That's basically the prophecy. We get all the prophecies focusing on a major event. They're coming from different denominations. They're coming from different religious backgrounds. Some of these are little kids having these visions. And
you hear that?
Doug, what the biggest point is today that we've got to understand, ladies and gentlemen, it's countdown time. And we're not talking about a rocket being blasted off. We're talking about countdown for them blasting us out. Blasting us out of the way. Oh, that's so scary.
No, it's not.
Read the book of Revelation. Read Matthew 24. Read Luke 21. Jesus said there's never been a time like it, nor would be again. Never. I first got a revelation.
Yeah, see, I'm getting chills and I'm almost crying and mourning for these people that I love. It's coming down to crunch time. I don't want to watch you from heaven die, man. I don't want to watch you, man. These little kids are getting visions, he just said. No. Around 33. No, God will either raise you up to age or put you down to age. And you're never going to age when you get there. You're going to stay that age as everybody else is going to be that age. Okay? You're not going to zero. Right? Everybody's going to be around the same age, and you're going to know who I was, and I'm going to know who you are. Okay? You're my brother. If you make it to heaven and I make it to heaven, we're going to know who each other was, because God's going to open everything up in us when we leave this body. And you're going to know everything about the Bible and how exactly everything happened. He's going to teach you. That's what the Last Supper of the Lamb is. And not when your angels come and take you up to be judged by Jesus, and Jesus says, good work, well done, good and faithful servant. You're gonna just bawl, and he's not gonna let you bawl too long, because he's gonna throw you into school, the Last Supper of and you're gonna have your powers. You're gonna be superpowers and your armor to come back with God and destroy the rest of the evil people that's on this earth, because they're evil. They've turned to the evil, and it's not gonna bother you. I don't even think God's going to let that. See, they started cutting me off this time. Sorry. But I had that dream where I come back and I'm killing the demons. I'm popping their heads. How did I know what? You're going to school tomorrow? No, this is going to be a school that God's going to put you in school. It's called, so he's going to teach you everything in a short time. He's going to unlock everything that you already know inside. You know everything inside, but he unlocks it as you get closer to him. Jesus unlocks everything by opening your eyes more and more and more. Okay? He's going to unlock it. He's going to teach you. He's going to teach you how to war. We're going to kill Satan. We'll judge the angels.
47 years ago, 2 years after being saved. And the way I understood it, take all the wars, take all the horrors, again, HORRORS, put them into a context that you think you understand, and then multiply it by 1 million. That means that your concept, we're hearing continuity of government has been initiated. We're hearing that the DHS just said today that the most dangerous people in the country are white supremacists or white nationalists, but notice the white, okay? And then they go and bust 6 Michigan guys on an assorted plan to, kidnap the governor of Michigan.
I wonder how many of those were FBI agents.
Yeah,
Just curious.
There's probably 5 FBI agents and 1 well-meaning soul. Now, I'm not in favor of kidnapping her. I'm in favor, on record, of recalling her, and I am on favor of saying if she does not comply with the court rulings against her at this point, she needs to be physically removed by the Attorney General. She forfeits, in my opinion, her right to even call the National Guard. That's a legal point. But here's the deal, ladies and gentlemen. What Doug just said is the absolute truth in the context of what you have when you have a political narrative, you will generate the events to support you. We just saw it. Belong to any group. Now, I am white. I tell people I'm a historic realist, so I am a historic racist. There's nothing wrong with saying, hey, I'm a white guy or I'm a black guy. But there is everything wrong when people are vilifying white people, and they're all freaking communists, wizards, witches, and warlocks. So my mouth. So where are we at? Ladies and gentlemen, we are at the most dangerous, perilous time. Paul said, for perilous times shall come.
And they're here.
You can't afford to be careless when it's this perilous. You can't afford to deny when it's right before you kneel short.
That's what they're doing. They're denying the truth. So they're denying Jesus Christ. I try to teach them that. Face me head on. Before you have to face Christ head on. Face what I'm telling you. Because it's awful to fall in the hands of God if you're a sinner, man. He isn't a respecter of persons, and that's out of the Bible. He loves you, but he doesn't respect you. And it's time to clear this earth of evil. It's going to happen, and it's happening right in front of their eyes, and they can't see it. Even some of the most people I love the most that live with me. The other day I said you didn't teach them about Jesus or God's coming? Oh, no, that's not what it was about. And I'm thinking, so what was it about? Worldly stuff? Satan stuff? Because the whole world lies in the hands of the wicked one. Worldly stuff. That's why God says, them who love the world and the things thereof of it don't love God. No way. Eve's in heaven. They repented. They went to heaven, okay? No. Satan doesn't have wives. Never did. He's an entity. Entities don't have wives. They slay them. Satan doesn't like people, okay? Here's how it works. You are Satan's enemy, whether you're on his side or not. He wants to kill you. Whether you're doing Satan's duties or not, he's going to kill you, and he's going to punish you for eternity. Because he hates the face of God. Because God did wonderfully make every soul. Doesn't mean that soul was of God, though. He gave that soul a chance. And they turn on him and they play and they ride their bike around the yard. That I'm just using as a term. Instead of reading the Bible and teaching people that God's coming and walking like Jesus does. You're going to sin in it too, because God's going to bring them out of you. God's going to bring them out of you sometime as hard as you can. Little guys, and I was taking them and breaking them. I saw this big one I didn't even try because I looked behind and there was a lion about 200 feet tall behind me swallowing up the big ones, okay? Because we can't do it. We fail to that. But we get better and better with it. That's the thing. And I'm so sick of my sin that I don't do it anymore. Yeah. But the gods made them too in his image. The image of God is inside of you. You haven't got that until you leave here. You have the image of Satan until you leave this body. And you get the glorious new name on a rock from God with a new name. And you're beautiful because you'll be like an angel. Right? They stayed in heaven. They never came to this earth. Wow, they've been pretty good with not disconnecting me. But people are trying to get in. And that's why. Anyways, I don't want to go on that too much because then
saw a picture. Michael Snyder put up a picture of a little girl.
No, I hate Satan.
That smoked my.
You know what it says in the Bible? We will judge the angels. So we're the ones that are going to take all of what Satan and his evil ones have done to us, and we're going to turn that on them. Okay? Okay, so they're not showing that my YouTube is even on right now. You better be putting that on there because I pay for it, man. What's it going to hurt you anyway? It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Okay, now it's on there. No, it's not. Because Okay, yes, it is on. 2 are watching. Yeah, my heart is getting ready to give up again. It's starting to... Still shows me God's going to stop it eventually.
Sometimes I get loud.
Because it's getting closer. So God's killing my body.
I get loud is because
The closer he gets, the more this body's going to die. For when he gets here, I'm going to be caught up by the harvest angels.
What can I do? I do not believe being helpless in a situation like this. I refuse to be hopeless in a situation like this. But I also am not going to go out and do something stupid that takes me off the screen or takes me out of the game before my time. God says, Steve, the weapons of your carnal, but mighty through God. And then you know what my instant thought was? Oh, God, can't you give me some really, And he said, rebuke him, Steve. And I do. It's just like a friend of mine, Jenny, when she was talking about chemtrails, she'd rebuke every single airplane that ever dropped them. To my knowledge, very first question, we'll throw it back to you, Doug. When will God think that will be?
I'll give you a date, but I'll say too late.
Yeah, okay. Boy, is that wise. When you figure it out, it's too late. That's actually a really, really wise, and I didn't mean like tomorrow or the 14th, but that's the answer. If you wait, it's too late. If you act, God can move. Look, I tell people, you want to follow somebody who knows where they're going, make sure they're in motion. Make sure they're not just talking about, well, one of these days I'm going to hit the hills. One of these days.
Okay, so that's what I talk about. I'm here. So that's what I talk about. I'm here for people to follow what I'm doing, and I'm actually following it. I don't smoke drugs. I don't smoke cigarettes. I don't lie. I don't swear. And every once in a while I do lie, okay? I'll be honest with you. Everybody has sin until the day they die. Wouldn't it be better to start listening to him if he's walking that way than try to wait for Jesus when it's too late? They're going to come to our doors real soon. And he said, he said, well, when? And he said, it'll be too late when you ask when. Everyone does, but we try to eliminate. Some days I go sinless. Okay, well, I try the best, okay? But even little white lies of somebody's calling you and you're not answering your phone because you don't want to talk to them, that's kind of a little white lie because you're there and you have the time. You have the time. The darkness, what's coming from heaven, the evil that we build comes back for us. And also the military. Time for your vaccination. Oh, by the way, if you're not taking the vaccination, I'm going to put you into a FEMA camp. And then when you're in the FEMA camp, they're going to tell you, listen, you have to sign this paper. And on the bottom, it's going to say, renounce Jesus and take the chip. A bit longer, they might give you another chance. I don't believe they're gonna. I believe they're gonna do it as quick as they can. If you're still alive, then I probably won't be. That's what I'm working for and praying for every day. Pray that you're worthy to escape what's coming. That's why I talk the way I talk. Because I'm crying inside for these lovely people that refuse to believe in Jesus. That's forsaking him. My other guy's coming on soon, so I have to restart again.
We do this, do that. They never move off their fat buddy to understand the lateness of the hour, because it's like I said, it's like
they don't move.
Wonderland.
They don't tell the other people.
Like the guy I saw.
My wife doesn't go, oh yeah, by the way, Rod is right, and this is all coming. She sits there and doesn't say a word about God when we're talking about God. The people she loves are there with her, and she knows exactly because I teach her, and she takes it with a grain of salt. It does nothing on the sidelines. Oh, but I love God and I believe in God. If you did, you'd be going and doing the things I do. I sit there and scope my Bible every morning before I go to school or for work. Now, I haven't been reading it at night because I'm too busy teaching people. I'd rather teach people God understands that, and that's what he mostly wants. He wants us to do our work to help people come to heaven, not sit on the sidelines and watch knowing what's coming. Not doing anything or not believing it. Well, no. That's evil, okay? If you're not sitting there, her sisters call her he has two sisters, and she doesn't say one single word. Jesus in your life. She is killing them by doing that. That's murder, just not murder. When I keep telling her, did you tell your friends? Did you tell your sister? No. Because they're slipped from the rooftop, man. That's what I'm doing.
Disneyland, Disney World. I went there, and you heard my story years ago. They monitored me at every checkpoint. You had to go into restaurants, come out. You had those stupid bans everywhere. Satellite uplinks. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, not just. It was monitored every single place. I would walk. I have my granddaughter. I have my wife. And again, God bless her. At that point, she was a little naive. I said, Loretta, why do you think this is happening?
And God's in control of the thunder. That happened to me too. I was at my dad's house, and I was like, God makes a thunder. Kaboom! And it was a loud one. God makes a thunder. Kaboom! And it was a loud one. And their jaws just went, And maybe you should listen to a God that's here to teach you and loves you all.
And they look at me, and I'm sorry, and now I have my wife, I had my granddaughter's mother there too, Amber, and they were puzzled until I said, may I just explain how the world really works in the DB? That's the database. They're making our time, and I didn't know Disney Deathland was that real, okay? I'm pissed. If that word offends you, suck it up, Buttercup. This isn't about BS and bubble baths. This is hardcore reality. So I go to the front desk and I say, I demand to speak.
Okay, he teaches like me. There are certain teachers. They teach a certain way. God sent you to that teacher. Because that one, cotton candy, and there's a lot saying it's coming into an end, but we're not close yet. This has happened, this has happened, this has happened. You understand it's all going to happen at one time? I'm not mean, though. I'm not doing it out of meanness. I'm doing it out of urgency and seriousness. Serious. I'm not playing around. I don't play on the fence anymore. I gave it. My last time I put Jesus on the cross, those bad sins that I did before, I'm never going to do them again. And this time was real. And I've walked in his steps for the last month right, and I did do one bad sin that I can't tell people about. It has nothing to do with anybody else but me and Jesus and God. It's my strong man. It's my strong one inside myself that I've been fighting, but it's going away more. It's going away more and more and more. This time it's gone. I believe Jesus has cleaned me up. My tribulations are almost over. The fire comes after that, and there's already happened.
Right now on the phone to the head of security. I'm a national talk show host, which I was during those days. And
People
I
don't
got
take me
literally,
serious.
I have, and
That's
during the
why
day,
I
I
talk
literally had
like
a billion
this.
hits, and they refuse to talk.
So people don't take me serious, but that's why I talk like this, because I am serious. So you take it whichever way you want. It's better hearing this coming like this out of me than seeing God or Jesus in front of you and being a sinner. Because you're going to hear the worst words ever. Get away from me, worker of iniquity, of sin. I never knew you.
Talk to me. They said, in essence, tell him he's a person. That person, he's an asshole. You know, the overwhelming nature of the spy apparatus, what that was, Tomorrowland is Todayland. The Great Surveillance Society is now. You can't do anything. I posted stories, I post them all day long. I think Heathrow Airport is going to have 400 turnstiles to get on an airplane. Heathrow is a big place. I've been there before. I was banned to going any place in Great Britain, Australia, Canada, you know, I mean, the whole works. And I've never done anything, you know. Look it up. The problem is that if I don't suck up to them, you know, and Doug, you know this, you and I have been friends long enough. You know some of the offers I've had. And ladies and gentlemen, again, because of the trust, I mean, I can't tell you how much money I've been offered. I can't tell you what the amount of stuff to try and buy you off. They can't buy you off. They try and scare you off. They can't scare you off. The Disney Deathland was such an eye-opening event, but going back to Heathrow, Doug, they're going to have 400 databases, and that's the only way people are going to get to travel internationally. It's the only way people are going to get to travel internationally. It's the only way people are going to get to
people that God learn how not to be mean. When I came to God, man, I hated the birds, I hated the bees, I hated the trees, I hated kids, I hated myself, I hated my neighbor, I hated my wife. Not the wife I'm married to now. I love her very much, and I'm constantly hounding her because she just hasn't got up out of her seat. And she's done nothing for the Lord. It's works until you're dead. Constant works now I do. You see me, buddy. You watch me. I'm on here every day. From the time I get in, I rush home. I'm excited to teach the word. I'm excited to read the Bible with you. I'm excited to listen to these guys that talk like me. I am hot for God, and I'm doing everything in my power to stay hot for God and Jesus. I'm not stopping until my heart stops or they cut my head off. That's what it's going to be. Or a fireball, which turns into my angels. The fireball is going to kill me, and then my angels are going to take me out. Either way, I don't know how I'm going to die. God knows the day you die. God knows how you die. God knows the day you die. He knows the hour, the minute, and the second. Okay? He knows everything.
Travel internally. The United Airlines, again, the first word, the first letters are given to issue travel passports. And they're going, yes, that is not, just a liberty with time. And look, I'm furious. If you don't care about your children being sacrificed, if you don't care about what they're going to do to your wife, if you don't care and say, you are a coward, I want you to go in the mirror and say,
okay, so God talks about that. They're cowards. They won't tell anybody. They sit there and shut up, but yet they have all this knowledge. Man, you are given the knowledge not to keep it here. Why would God give you knowledge to keep here? Does that even make sense? That knowledge is for you to share freely with. When the opportunity comes up, bang, you do it. Don't sit on the fence or sit on your couch and watch the people you love die. You see this is out of the Bible. You see the sword coming.
This person, look in the mirror. I don't care about my wife's life. I don't care about my family's life. I don't care about anybody. All I care about is preserving my life. That's it, Doug.
Yep. Then you'll lose it. If you care about saving your life, you're going to lose it. If you care about saving other people's lives and don't care about what happens to you, you're going to gain a special life for eternity. What happens to you, you're going to gain the
absolute vapid and vacuous indifference. I love that word, vacuous indifference. You know what, ladies and gentlemen? That's even beyond, well, he's not all there. There's nothing there. There's nothing here. The great connection is not there any longer. Go ahead, Doug. Gotta have some more God-given water.
Yeah. No, it's interesting what you say, in all of this as well. I don't know how many people know .com, and make sure you sign up for gen6.com. Go to gen6.com as well and sign up for the video on demand, video. Next October 15th and 16th, the next week, the conference, the virtual conference. That'll give you the private briefings too. But it was interesting because as you're talking, I had learned that the military, U.S. military, just passed the tests and all, physical agility tests. I don't know whether you saw the depth of that story. Physical agility test. I don't know whether you saw the depth of that story, but soldiers don't have to pass Army combat fitness test to graduate their initial training. That just recently came out, where the Army suspended this requirement that enlisted soldiers must pass the fitness training, the fitness test, in order to get through the military. They're removing that. So what you said about China earlier in Chinese.
Okay, so you only have a little discernment when you first come to God. The more work you do for God, the more discernment he'll give the trials and tribulations. You can't say no to them. The more info you learn, the more knowledge you learn about God and Jesus and what's coming to the earth and what happened to the earth before, the more knowledge you got, the more he'll open up your discernment, right? Yeah, you did. I'm proud of you, little guy. And then we did I did the altar call for you too. So you're new, okay? So don't expect huge miracles when you're new, okay? I didn't either. I didn't expect huge miracles at all from what I've done in my life. I expected to die and go to hell, buddy. That's where I expected. And then he started giving me dreams. He even talked to me out loud. God talked to me. He said 2 words to me in my life. And I've heard him call me Arthur or something one time. I don't know. But weird. When I was adopted, my rubber boots that I had a name in it. It said Arthur. And I was 2.5 years old. And I remember still seeing those words. And then one day he called it out, and I came out to my wife, and I said, did someone on the TV say Arthur? No. So that's another voice. He's told me my name, so because he's love. And at the time, I didn't have much love in me. And then a couple weeks later, he said, prepare. Prepare for what? Prepare for what? And that's it. That's all he's ever said to me. Out loud, like in a speaker. The one was hushed a little bit because there was noise in the house from the TV and stuff, right? In the Arthur, yeah. But it might not be. I'm just saying. I know for sure. Prepare and love. He said to me.
Troops and the reason that you were talking about for being banned on military bases is pretty clear. I think that treachery is in our midst. I think that we're being dismantled from the inside. I see a time when we're going to be invaded by exterior forces because of our weakness from within. Weaknesses that include that witch from Michigan, Whitmer, who again, the subject of the kidnapping, alleged kidnapping. Yeah. But anyway, so I think all of this combined, is painting a pretty bleak picture. And, can we even get to, oh, by the way, the debates, well, today we can't have, we've got to have virtual debates now. And Steve, I don't know whether you know this or not, but I think the only debate, this might be the only debate that was actually done with candidates in two different parts of the country, and it was aired on television, was the 1960, the third debate in 1960, I think it was, between Nixon and Kennedy. Kennedy was in New York and Nixon was in Los Angeles, and they debated there. They had a four-panel news crew. But beyond that, it's been face-to-face. And the reason I mention that is because they're making this issue of the coronavirus, and they're, as you said, they're invoking, or Pelosi's talking about invoking the 25th Amendment, which by the way, she's got no power to do. Actually, the president can believe that, and the VP and the cabinet members. Now, all of this stuff we have never seen before, and we're here. And again, you called it 20.
Okay, so he just said the stuff that we've never seen before. It's unreal. Everything you haven't seen before, because we haven't lived in a time like this. Not even a Noah's Ark time was like this. There'll be never another time like this again. There never was, and there never will be another time like this. You live in the end days. It's time to start doing something. Quit sitting on the fence. Quit playing games. So, if you're following someone, follow someone who's walking is almost like Jesus. If you see him with a cigarette in a hand, move on down. And hey, man, I went through it, so I'm not judging anybody. I was on the fence playing around for almost my whole time, okay? It's only the last couple months I've been really, really coming to God, man. More than ever. Since this coronavirus hit, I read my entire Bible, and drastic changes was happening from there on. It takes time. Everybody's timing is different, but time's running out. So if you just come to God now, I'd say you might have the time, because God's timing is impeccable. But you have to give yourself fully to Jesus. That's not play around. Everything you do, if you're sitting at home and you're not working, you should be reading the Bible or doing something for God. That's it. Don't be scared to tell your neighbor if he's out there alone with you. I did it with my neighbor about God and Jesus. And about thousands of prophecies came true from thousands of years ago.
25 years ago. So,
no.
Back to you.
God, you came to God. You're a young one. You haven't done some great. Sin is sin, though. But you haven't done as much as I had, and they haven't lived with you as long as they lived with me.
But it's come to no avail. In my case, a quarter of a century.
The guy that's talking has the most prophecies out of anybody that's alive today. Okay? And they all came true. He's been talking about it for 25 years. So he's still hot for God. 25 years of doing this. And many, many prophecies come true. I've had prophecies come true too, even little ones, little things that has nothing to do with God's return. God honored that for me. And the person said, wow, I'm never going against what you say again.
Revelations, they're talking, they mock it, but they use the Bible. See,
but you'll get rid of it.
Deal with a
God will raise you up on the last day. He knows the timing that people need. Now, if you had sins like me and you came to God today, it's too late. Unless you totally put your face in that book and teaching instantly. If you don't know a lot of knowledge, teach about Jesus. Read Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John first, the Gospels.
Change the coastlines of North America. It will change everything. And ladies and gentlemen, not only that, but there are other events coming. Do you think you're going to hear about any spaceborne objects? And whether it's Planet X and their gravitational effect on our planet, or Roche's limit, ROCHES limit, which means that heavenly bodies with a greater gravitational pull, as they get closer to a lesser gravitational pull, they start to cause severe upheaval, volcanoes, earthquakes, cyclonic storms. Hello, we got cyclonic storms and we have moronic stormcasters.
Okay, so that there's no Planet X. What's coming to us is all sent by God, and you can't stop it. And everything is vials being poured out on the earth right now. I don't care what anybody says. We're in closer to the last day than everybody thinks. Okay. And I heard one guy say the Antichrist was the Vatican. No, it's not. It's Satan. I got right away from it. I said, wow, I listened to him for about 20 minutes and then started explaining he knows who the Antichrist is. And then he started explaining it's the papacy. And I just went, boink, because it's Satan is the Antichrist. The spirit will come into the man that's been picked already. Some people already know who he is, and it'll possess him. And it will be the Antichrist spirit. And it goes on to one man. The Antichrist spirit's all over the whole earth right now. Anybody that doesn't believe in God has that spirit. But there's one guy that will take the full spirit of Satan on. And they've been preparing it, and he's been preparing for it. They know who he is. He knows who he is.
Know what's going on. Quit reading chicken entrails. Start telling the truth. You can't, because on the Weather Channel, it's owned by, I believe, the Rothschilds. But here's the deal. How much, and I'm going to ask you this, in legal terms, this is your world, you understand legal terms more than I do. You
know what, let me make sure I get this correct. Preponderance of evidence, okay, I mean, obviously in the legal definition, and again, I only want to do this because I would get called out if I, let's say preponderance,
and take your time, because this
that's all right. I mean, thank you. There you go.
You got it?
Yeah, sure. See how easy that was? Preponderance, the quality or fact of being greater in number, quality, or importance. So the prevalence or dominance, predominance, majority, if you will, of evidence. It's the weight of evidence.
Okay, so the weight of evidence, the predominance of evidence. There's so much evidence right now of the time we live in, and still people can't see it. It's ridiculous. How can you not see it? Alberta's on fire, man. My country is on fire too. And we're the easy country to take over, because we don't have nuclear weapons and we don't have a huge army. and they took away our guns easily. Now, they didn't take away all of our guns, but your gun ain't going to fight. You're not allowed automatic guns. You're gone. Okay? So Canada's going to be the easy wipeout. I do believe Canada's going to go around the same time as America because the Chinese bought it out anyway. They didn't buy it out. We owed it to them. We sold out long time ago. When these plans kick in, it's going to affect every country, every city, every town. Not one little town is going to not know that we're in trouble. And they're all going to wait until that happens, and then they're going to go wishing that they had more time alive. That says it in the Bible. They're going to wish that they had more time because they're not ready for it. I'm doing everything that I can possibly do to prepare myself for this. Spiritual warfare and all. No, it's not Obama. Sorry, buddy. I didn't see your question. Obama's too old. Question. Obama's too old. That's crazy.
In law.
I have to shut this
clear,
down in 7 minutes, and then I'm going to restart it because my guy's coming on.
I know this. I want to be clear on the definition, but in a legal sense, the lowest standard of proof would be the lowest form of the burden of proof, which 51%. So we'll just say over half in terms of evidence is concerned. Beyond reasonable doubt would be the largest or the most most significant. That's used in criminal aspects.
But let's talk about this too. I don't mean to overtalk you. Preponderance of evidence means that the evidence or the object, it overrules testimony, or it basically either validates testimony or impeaches testimony, right? Invalidating testimony, you say, well, the guy said, well, I didn't kill her, yet his forensic shows that, his fingerprints are all over the gun they found. His fingerprints are on her body, his nail, organic matter, traceable DNA materials. That's the preponderance of evidence. So what I'm trying to get here is the preponderance of evidence testifies against you're a bunch of fear porn people. Ladies and gentlemen, you've got to understand something. If you believe in fear porn and even use that word, you are already mind controlled. Don't kid your...
That's what I say. People tell me, oh, that's fear, man. It scares me. I can't sleep. I go to sleep at night fine. Why you're not going to sleep is because you're not cleared with God. I'm telling you, when I do a sin and when I'm not cleared with God, I don't sleep. There's no such thing as fear porn. Okay? Fear is false evidence appearing real. And Satan loves fear. He feeds off of it. So in my Christian life, I don't teach fear. I teach truth. Harsh truth sometimes. But other times, gentle truth, like the Bible.
If you believe in those terms and use them, never, ever contact me in email because I know what I'm dealing with. I'm dealing with a mind-controlled, MK-ultracated entity. If you can't rationally think, okay, I don't even believe in God, but look at all these earthquakes. Where are those coming from? Of course, I get. But how do I explain 8-mile-long food lines or 8 billion meals short? How do I explain that? How do I explain that I won't be able to buy, sell, trade, or travel unless I get Gatesicated? That's Bill Gates, and he just announced that they want more. Or JAMA, They're going to jam it down our throat, ladies and gentlemen. They're already, Journal American Medical Association are saying I have to be vaccinated, or we need to go to jail. We need to be segregated. We need to be separated. We need to free.
You just heard me say that today. Okay, I haven't listened to this yet. For their beliefs and the way they run their system. And if we don't take to that and take the chip, clango with the head. You know what? If that's what's going to happen to me, you know what? If that's what's going to happen to me, with his hand on my shoulder, it's okay. Thank you, Jesus. And you're going to be on crying and bawling. He's going to get you up. Don't need to cry. No, I listen with my beats, but I don't listen to hard rock. I don't listen to country. I don't listen to rap. I listen to Christian music.
Die, and that's what they're saying. And wake the eternity up, or you'll end up in the H word. More people have a problem as religious people.
See, that's why I'd rather you teach it at home. Teach it, the kid, since this coronavirus, they changed the whole school system. Okay, so that's over. I'm going to play this one for you. And it might sound like a, okay, this is 3 minutes long. I'm done. I have to start over. Listen. Yeah, I have to listen.
How did you like to live?
Not to that. Commercial, get over here.
Do you live fun? Or
Wow, they're making me watch the whole commercial.
Those looks good. Michelob Ultra. Live fit, live fun.
It's just a mask, you guys. Don't be a jerk. It's for the greater good. It's just a vaccine, you guys. Don't be a jerk. It's for the greater good. In 4 months, the U.S. was transformed into an obedient socialist country. Government dictated what events are acceptable to attend. Violent protests that instill fear are okay. But church services, family funerals, and patriotic celebrations are dangerous. And you bought it without a fight. Standing in a graduation line is a safety hazard. Small businesses were forced to close, but crowds to support the corporate money machine at Walmart, Lowe's, and Home Depot are okay. Come on, it's just a mask and safety precautions. How about a little hush money? Here's $2,400 that we stole out of your paycheck in the first place. Enjoy. Buy something with it.
Don't be scared, buddy.
Cash is dirty. We can't give change. There's a coin shortage. Use your card. In 4 months, they convince you to use a traceable card for everything. In less than 4 months, government closed public schools, then restructured education under the guise of public safety. In less than 4 months, our government demonstrated how easily people assimilate to guidelines that have no scientific premise whatsoever when you are fearful. In less than 4 months, our government successfully instilled fear in a majority of the population of America that allows them to control every aspect of your life, including what you eat, where you go, who you see, and your toilet paper.
And your toilet paper.
Where you go, who you see, and your toilet paper.
And your toilet paper.
And the most dangerous and terrifying part, people are not afraid of the government who removed their freedom. They're afraid of their neighbors, family, and friends. And they hate those that won't comply. It's absolutely terrifying to me that so many people don't question authority. They are willing to surrender their critical thinking skills and independence. They just gave up without thinking, without a fight. Do you know what's coming next? It's just a vaccine. Come on. It's for the greater good. Wait until you're told that you can't enter any store or business without proof of the COVID-19 vaccine. Wait until you can't go to public events or get on a plane without proof of receiving the vaccine. Don't think it's possible? Well, you already allowed the government to say when you can go outside, where you're allowed to go, and accepted a new unproven digital education for your kids in the last 100 days. You followed blindly because you were told to do so. You're kidding yourself. The past behavior won't be repeated with a vaccine or the next step is. I don't think about it. 6 million Jewish people were exterminated in Germany because 97% of the population cowered to populist control. Nobody wanted to think about it. It's easier just to ignore it. But that couldn't happen here in America, right? They got you. Just like Russia. Just like China.
Welcome, Conrad. I actually like it. It doesn't scare me at all. But you're a little guy. But yeah, don't let it scare you, man. Listen, this is what they've done to us, man. Almost looks like me with the mask on. Don't be a jerk. Wear your mask. You know what I mean? Sorry. Okay, I'm jumping off. I'll be back on in a bit here when my other guy's coming on. It's going to be really soon. Like, I wouldn't doubt it if it's now. We'll just see, man. Man, we need to go. We need the info. We need to be charged up. Like, this stuff charges me, man. I couldn't feel any better. But when it comes to the world, I'm like this. I'm like no energy when I go to work, and I'm just like dead. Even though I'm listening to stuff of God in me, my body doesn't want to do these worldly things anymore. I want to go to straight teaching from the start of the day to the end of the day and reading my Bible and all the other stuff that I do. Okay, so as soon as he comes on, it'll be talking. That's what I'll do again. Talk to. God bless. Thanks, Junior. I love you, man. You know what? You're safe in the hands of Jesus. Just remember that. Keep close to him. I'm holding on to his leg with every little bit that I have in me right now. Okay? See you in a bit.